and I am super excited to be with you this morning. And super excited to be with you this morning. And we are talking about strategy planning. We're ending vacations and we are starting to look at the coming year. We're focusing on what's next. And God has assigned me to take the complex and make it simple enough for you to apply it in your life. So take us center stage and owning it with me is Jeff, holistic coach.
Hey, Marissa.
We got Coach
Hey, everybody.
We got Coach Tiffany.
Hey.
We got Coach Ross.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, and we got Dr. Reed. So in the house we have holistic, double holistic whammy with Coach Jeff and Dr. Reed. Then we got your physical in the house, and we got your financial in the house. So we really have a truly holistic approach to helping you to own your life. This is your life, and it's time that you own it. And so I just want to say we're now at a vacation. Is everybody shifting? Are we still kind of lagging?
We're shifting. We're
still shifting, right? We are still
getting ready for 2024.
Yes. We're still at the top of September, so we're kind of transitioning over from that vacation mode and things like that, and getting into strategy mode, right? Back to school. Some of us are parents out here. Their kids are going back to school. And we're going back to strategy, and we want to take this opportunity to awaken you, if you're not already, to the importance of finishing your year strong. And the sooner that you start projecting into the coming year, the sooner you can do just that. And so I want to talk about that. Dr. Reed, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so much better. I just
gotta check in.
COVID is real, don't play with it. But if you're healthy, you can get over it quickly.
Well, we're happy to have you in the house today. Super excited to see your face, your beautiful face. Just want to say we have not forgotten. We want to recognize September 11th because we go so fast and we get into things. Just want to take the time to say we remember. I remember where I was on that day when it happened. I had just dropped my kids off for school. I was with some of the other moms in the parking lot when the news came forward, and we were blown away. And so where we were going to go on our normal day, have coffee or whatever, we actually got together and went to one of the moms' houses and began to pray. We began to pray and ask God for him to do what only he could do, and just began to pray. So I remember that day as almost as if it was yesterday. Where were you guys? You want to share a little before we go into the topic? Jeffrey, where were you?
I was actually at the doctor's office because I had just gotten back from a 2-week trip taking my mom to Alaska after my dad passed and dealing with kidney stones. And I was at the doctor's office and I heard all this screaming. I'm like, oh my God, there must be a mass murder in the office. But it was the planes crashing into the towers. So I'll never forget that.
Where were you physically? What?
In the doctor's office.
What part of the?
Oh, I'm sorry,
no,
Boston,
no.
Massachusetts.
Where? What state?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay, Boston.
And actually, in fact, I had come to learn that Bin Laden's cousin lived on the same floor that I lived in Boston in a condominium complex, and that there were 2 people that were in separate planes that day.
Wow. Oh my God. You never realize how close things are to you.
Right.
Things are happening. Wow. Tiffany, what about you?
And I was actually working at a Nextel retail store. And it was really interesting because we had a service and repair center there as well. And they had a big, screen TV in there. And you hear all this commotion and someone comes running over into the retail store and they tell us what happened. We all run to this, to the screen and we're all just watching. And the interesting thing that day is that Nextel store ended up being one of the busiest places because, all the cell phone companies, everything went out. but because Nextel having that radio, they were the only thing that worked. So it was so crazy. I mean, my sister was in New York, so of course we're worried about her, and she had just moved there, and it was wild. It was wild. Yeah.
That is crazy. Dr. Reed, where were you?
I was in the basement of the Baltimore City Courthouse filing rent court because at the time I was a property manager for a large real estate investment trust, and I remember thinking I got to get my daughter. So I left the courthouse, I got my car, and I went to her school. Ironically enough, her school was at the Baltimore Harbor, and so the fear was that the next plane was going to come to the World Trade Center at the harbor. So we were panicking and trying to figure out how to get our kids. And when I finally got my daughter, the sad part about it is the kids knew something was wrong energetically, but they didn't know. And I could see this panic on their faces. They weren't crying. They just looked perplexed, like, Mommy, what's happening going on? And they were too afraid to emote. And there was this wave of this confusion on these kids' faces. And all we could do was just hug the kids. I think at the time she was only like in second grade. Yeah.
Now, what about you,
So that World
Nathaniel?
Trade both places was scary. Ironically enough, also the plane that went to Pennsylvania was also a trigger for me because at the same time my sons were in boarding school in upstate Pennsylvania, which was only a few miles from where that other plane hit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So I was in a state of panic for a few days until I could get all my kids together in one place.
Yeah, that's scary. Very scary because you don't know what this is. We had no idea what it was. Nathaniel?
Well, I was in Philadelphia. One of my I ran high-rise buildings around the world at the time, and Two Liberty Place was part of my portfolio. And the concern was that Two Liberty Place and One Liberty Place was going to get hit because they're the two largest buildings in Philadelphia. So the focus was on how do I get all these people to safety? How do we get them home? How do we evacuate the building and get them home? So it was no time to really think. It was all about providing whatever assistance we could to the folks in the building. Probably about 10,000 people in the building.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people to move without going into panic mode.
Right.
It's a lot of people to move. And so we just want to take this moment to say we remember, that we acknowledge it, and just to continue to pray for those families that have lost so much. I remember the first time we had an instance where I forget what it was that went into one of the towers many years before, but it was non-successful. One of my ex-husband's his aunt was actually in the building. I believe she was in the building at the time of the first time, but nothing happened to it. There was a kind of like a bombing or something like that passed before.
Yeah.
And so, but these things are scary because you just never know. And so we just want to continue to keep the families in prayer who have suffered from this, and just give it honor by acknowledging it. And so as we shift over, the thing that I want to talk about too, I know that we are doing stuff, we're planning. So I want to take a round robin. Our topic today is about back to school. It's strategy time. It's projecting into the coming year and laying out the details and your vision for 2024. And I want to talk to each one of you because I know that you all, have services and you have your own mindset about what it is that you really teach and train people to do in order for them to own their life. And so I want to talk with you, Jeffrey. You have a meeting tomorrow night. You got some things going on with you. So I want to do a round robin and see what's going on and who's doing what and what is what and all that other good stuff. So I'll start with you, Jeffrey.
So great. Thanks, Tiffany. Yeah, so this is really perfect timing because Q4 is the time that I generally kind of seize the opportunity for the new coming year and really align myself with trends. And I did that last year with regards to my own finances and looking at the up and coming. Well, actually, it's not up and coming, it's evolving more into a standardization with the blockchain technology that started in 2009. So I missed that trend back in 2009, 10, 11 when I was a software engineer saying it would never work. It would just be a fad. But here we are today. The reality is it is here to stay, and all aspects of business are incorporating that. So with that, I started to learn in 2017, 18, just start learning slowly. It's one day at a time, and seize the opportunity to look into some international real estate fractional ownership. So with that, I continue to learn and setting up 2024 to expanding this opportunity into the United States because we are licensed now in the United States to do business. The other thing too is that as a certified holistic wellness coach, I always am in the looks for what's happening in the health and wellness industry, as well as looking at holistic mental wellness because it is an epidemic with regards to stress, depression, anxiety, and burnout. So that's something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that I've experienced, and it's something that I've been teaching over the last 4 to 5 years in regards to my own story and sharing that with those individuals who are going through that. And then lastly is digital marketing. It is the way of marketing ourselves out there and being able to learn the new trends. For example, AI is a big and up and coming thing as well. And I was kind of hesitant in the beginning, but I've jumped in and I'm starting to learn about AI, the significance it has to not only to individuals but for business purposes, because that is where it's going with this metaverse that's coming up, which is Web3, so forth and so on. So every September, October is when I really focus in what am I going to do to enhance 2024, and those are the things that have on my list, because I believe that we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially today. And that's my objective, is to share that vision, that mission that I'm so passionate about. So thank you.
Awesome, awesome. I am so hungry for learning now. I have had a season of building, 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 and now I am my spirit is so thirsty to learn again, and I'm so excited and loving, embracing this season. It's like, oh my God, I'm ready to read a lot and learn a lot and level up. I'm so excited. Tiffany, share with us, what are you doing? What's going on with you?
Well, the one thing that I just got to chime in, I mean, just the learning, getting myself out there, learning more, expanding in the services and things that I am able to offer. In my services, I offer, physical training, fitness training, but I also do the mindset training. We also touch into, spirituality and just really honing in on whatever it is you believe in. I mean, I believe in God, whatever else that other person believes in. We just really want them to connect with something bigger, because that is going to really help them to, thrive. I've had a back injury for almost a year. So I've been down, and we are relaunching our online fitness, our early morning workouts. So that's going to be really awesome, because as you shift and you move into, coming out of kind of party mode, right? Because everybody's really kind of partying, you're on vacation, you're forgetting about the diet, you don't care right now, and now you're getting to the point where it's like, oh, Lord, wait a second, where'd that 10 pounds come from? Where'd that 15 pounds come from, right? And you just gotta, you gotta get back into it. So being able to really give that accountability again, because that's what it's all about, is holding each other accountable for what we do. I'm so excited about what Jeffrey has going on. I will be in the meeting tomorrow, because I got to learn all that I can. Nathaniel has also helped me and my husband to kind of start taking more of a proactive approach to each other's, finances as a unit, because a lot of times when you're in, a relationship, or you're in a marriage, you tend to, sometimes it's separate. It's, oh, this is mine and this is mine. No, it's you together. And Nathaniel, thank you for that, because we really needed, that to start moving forward into this next year. So we're just really, really excited. I'm also excited to say that we're going to be on the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics side, the magazine. We're going to be expanding our services out and starting to offer billboards and commercials in movie theaters and things like that. So a lot of partnerships going on right now, and collaboration. That was my word of this year. And honestly, it's going to be my word into 2024 as well, because collaboration is key to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Teamwork makes the dream work. You cannot do it
It
alone.
does.
You cannot do it alone. It's not sustainable that way. Yeah, it's not sustainable that way. And just like you said, we're shifting back from chill out mode to now it's time to sober up and get our house in order for the next year so that we can vacation in 2024. Dr. Reed, you're up.
I am so focused on helping women over 40 focus and reclaim their power. I don't know what to do. When I say refocus, what I'm understanding is over the past maybe 20 years that I've been a naturopath and coaching women, there has been an imbalance of what everybody just said: spirit, mind, and body. We're in balance financially. We're out of balance spiritually. We're out of balance emotionally. We're just completely out of balance. So my job right now is to collect all these beautiful souls who hear my voice and need balance, to create a community where women can systematically understand each part of themselves and bring them all together holistically so they can feel like, I got this. Because a lot of people are feeling, like Jeff said, mentally out of it, right? And the reason why we're out of it is because there's a misalignment between the three components of who we are. We're spirit, we're mind, and we're body. And when they're out of alignment, craziness happens. You remember that term, you can be so earthly bound, you're no heavenly good. So if we only focus on our fitness and not our spiritual and our mind, we're out of balance, regardless if we lost the pounds. If we focus on our mental side, doing all this learning, but you're not taking care of your body or your spirit, you're out of balance. And if you're only taking care of your spirit and you're not exercising and you're not dealing with your mental, you're out of balance. And I think society sees that there is this one thing that I got to do to be perfect, but it's not one thing. It's an integration of all of those pieces. And so when women over 40 get that, then we can rise to the level of our greatness and move into our purpose. And so this fourth quarter, I'm doing more to connect with women on a holistic plane through my courses, through my coaching, and through the fact that I'm a naturopathic doctor and I've been doing it for so long. It's like pouring out of my skin. There's another way. There's another way to, and I think when we're balanced, spirit, mind, and body, the energy that we're exuding will then bring in the finances, because finances is currency, it's energy, right? It'll bring in the health, because health is energy. When we're low vibrating, we're going to be sick. Now, I had COVID. Was I low vibrating? I don't know, but I can tell you I was tired because I experienced the birth of my grandson in my home, and I watched my daughter labor for 27 hours. That took a lot out of me as a mother. I kept trying to give her my energy, and I kept saying, baby, you can do this. It's good. You're going to do this. This is a sacred moment. I had to pour into her. And I realized there was somebody pouring back into me at that moment. So when COVID kind of floated around, hey, I was a prime target. And if I can teach women about their energy and how they balance it out, then we're less likely to be exposed or be impacted by all of these things that go bump in the night. And I would encourage everybody to read consistently Psalm 91.
All righty now, Psalm 91 with long life, right? Because you got to decree and declare that long life.
Psalm 27, 23, and 91. Yeah.
Listen, 27 is what? Though the enemy came upon me to eat up my flesh, you stumbling down. You better preach that. And That's how you own it in your life. That you understand that there are going to be mountains and there are going to be valleys. There are going to be peaks and there's going to be low places. And so you have to understand that the key is mastering navigating through all of that, so that you don't, give up, cave in, or quit, or go quietly into the night. That's what owning it really is truly all about. Is about knowing thyself. And so that's it. I love it because once you know thyself, um, life's blows are going to come, but you'll know how to overcome them. They won't overcome you. And so as we shift gears, I love it because we're hitting on all mind, body, physical body, mental body, health, physical fitness. Um, so important to have the balance. And it's not about perfection, it's about mastery. And it's not about getting it all, it's learning how to navigate successfully through it all. So we're going to shift over to Nathaniel, because I know he's sitting over there, got some juicy stuff to say to us. And we had a funky good time and the financial boot camp last Thursday. Oh my God, did we have a really good time? Looking forward to this Thursday. So Nathaniel, talk to us. What's been going on with you? What do you have up for us?
Well, I've been focused in on the financial boot camp that we're doing for the next 3 months. Working on my podcast to continue to get the message out to people that they can improve their lives. And I just wanted to piggyback on Dr. Reed and others that have said, we want to work on our spirit, our mind, and our bodies, but we always tend to omit environment and environmental influence. We have to make sure that we're doing all 5 of those things, because if you're in the wrong environment and you got the wrong people influencing you, the other 3 don't matter. So it's just a lot. And so, the other thing is, I guess the message that I want to get across to people is from a time perspective. The more successful you are, the more you pay attention to time, because time is the great equalizer. We all have the same amount of it. It's how we use our time or how we let other people use our time that determine our success or failures. So if you're living your life one day at a time, it's going to be reflective in everything that you do. If you're looking only at a year at a time, it's the same thing. And if you notice, for those who are exposed to corporations are doing 5, 10, 15 years at a time. And we got to start looking at our personal lives and saying, what's the plan for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? And start putting that stuff in place and think from a larger perspective and how we're going to live our lives and how we're going to run our families. So I'm just out there just trying to get the message across to people, to focus in from a holistic standpoint. And people tend to pigeonhole me into finances, but finances impact every other area of your life. Right? And when I work with people, I work with them from a holistic perspective, that they need to have balance and focus on every area. And if you do that, the finances will fall in place. So that's what's going on.
I love it.
Hey, Marissa, real quick, just to add to Nathaniel, finances are the number one stressor to most people globally today. It's a proven fact. And once we can eliminate that stress, everything really falls into place.
The Bible says money answereth all things. And for those people who look at it and say, oh, money is evil, no, it says the love or lust after money is the root of all evil. But money answereth all things. You need money as an exchange. Like Dr. Reed said, it's currency. It's currency, so it's flowing, it's moving. And so anyway, I say this, and I'll charge you. None of us are in a box. Nathaniel. We all operate from the place of self awareness, self development, self mastery, and all of that pertains to everything you need to do with yourself, mind, body, spirit, money, whatever. You have to know yourself, you have to be awakened to yourself, and you have to love yourself enough to do everything that each one of us will encourage you and introduce you to do. You have to love yourself. That's what owning it is all about, is loving yourself enough to live a fulfilling life, whatever that means to you. Because each one of us have our own identity of what success looks like. We have our own identity of what feels good to us and what matters most to us. What we don't want to do is see you around us pooping at the party. We don't want to see you complaining and upset and not happy. Listen, if you happy in Lodabar, my God, stay down there in Lodabar. If you want to be up in high places, then my God, be up in high places. But the one thing we don't want to do is be around you and you complaining about where you are. And then we're telling you what you need to do and you ain't doing it. Because then we don't want to hear it. Right? That's the key. And so Nathaniel tapped in on it. And this we're going to close out with is I said backstage about succession planning. We talk about SWOT analysis. We talk about SMART goals. These are not, stop doing these on your job and not doing them in your life. You need to take these same tools and apply them in your life. And the reason why our families and our communities are array is not taking into consideration succession planning. Succession planning is a concept that makes sure that the next lineup of folks is ready to take over the position immediately without interruption of what? Performance. Without interruption of performance. So succession planning is what it's called. And you want to start looking that up, investigating, because you want to make sure that we've gotten away from understanding how a family is supposed to be structured. It's a hierarchy of order, right? And so we want to make sure that our kids are trained up, right? I don't want to do all that I'm doing. I don't even care if I'm late at the party. I do not want to do all that I'm doing right now. And then my kids are not prepared, whether they want to do what I do or not, that they're not prepared to take on my estate properly. And that's what succession planning is all about. Making sure that the next lineup, everybody in the family knows what needs to be done and knows where to find the documents, where everything is, et cetera, et cetera. That's a part of your strategic planning. It should be a part of your strategic planning. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to say your closing thoughts, and then also to get a call to action. Are they allowed to come to the meeting tomorrow night, Jeffrey? Can we? Because anybody who's watching this is part of the owner family. Can they come on to the financial boot camp? How can they get unclocked with you, Dr. Reed? How can they get physically fit and visibility with you, Tiffany? So, Jeffrey, 1 minute, you're up.
You got it. Thank you so much. So again, I say that I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I talked about everything for 4 years except finances. And last year, I stepped out of my comfort zone to start learning more about it and not being afraid. So my point here is keep your options open to learning. Just learn and get educated, because that is when you can make your own educated decision whether it's a good fit for you or not. So, and as far as tomorrow night, yes, this is open to people. I will post this in the comment section. Once you post it live, there is a registration QR code. Register, just come and get some information. It has changed my life. It's changed my husband's life, and it's changing other people's lives as another option for financial freedom. Thank you.
Awesome. Tiffany, you're up.
Awesome. Thank you. So really my just word of wisdom, really just keep going. I mean, when things are coming at you, again, being injured, being taken out of what I was doing and getting back into it now, feeling stronger, keep going. And it doesn't matter where you are right now. Just start. Find that place and just start. I can help you to start. If you want to be physically fit, if you need a little bit of mindset coaching, you want to, tap into that spirituality, or you just need a little bit of financial, fitness, let's go ahead and have that chat. I will be again starting my physical fitness. That is going to be launching next month. So if you would like to get a hold of me, Phoenix Fitness Fanatics 2016 at gmail.com. Yes, it is long, but again, Phoenix Fitness Fanatics 2016 at gmail.com. And if you want some visibility out there, any of you businesses, you can definitely reach out to me. I am part of the Own It Publishing platform with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, and we are ready to help you to shine. So thank you so much,
Yes,
Marissa, for
awesome.
having me today.
Now, Tiffany didn't mention it, but she has a women's group, Girl Powerhouse,
Yes.
that they meet on a regular basis. So if that's what you need to do, you need a community, because it does take a village to raise us up. We need, and the thing to tack on that: environment, internal, external influences. And so we want to make sure you're in the proper environment, because when I got yesterday and doing some lives yesterday, was, listen, God said, forsake not the assembling together of the saints. Why? So that you build one another up. The reason why they come to church on Sunday is so that they can be built up for the rest of the week. So when trials and tribulations come, they have so much poured into them, like Dr. Reed said, that they're able to withstand the darts and the snares and the traps of the enemy. So she has a community. Reach out to Tiffany.
Thank you for that, Marissa. Thank you for that. Yes, definitely reach out. Definitely reach out if you need that support. The Girl Powerhouse Network. You can go to thegirlpowerhousenetwork.com. We are also having a Soul Sister Retreat December 4th through the 8th. So if you are feeling burned out, ladies, this is for you. Definitely connect with me, and we would love to get you in Cancun with us for the 5 days, 4 nights, just to relax. We will be strategizing into the next year as well, but that's December 4th through the 8th, Cancun with the Girl Powerhouse Network. Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, you lucky I'd be headed to Morocco, because I would have been there. So make sure you go. Go to Cancun. Enjoy yourself over in Cancun. Get refreshed and get launched for 2024. Dr. Reed, you're up. 1 minute.
I am speaking to women 40 and over specifically. I challenge you to put on your high heels, pull up your Spanx, and to be committed to putting yourself first, because you have not done it, you're not doing it, and you don't know how to do it, but you so desperately want to know how. If that sounds like you, then you probably need to have a strategy session with me. And you can find me on drstephanieyhp.com. The reason why I'm speaking to women 40 and over, because this is the cohort of women who are now starting to have all of these health problems, and they want to look at something different beyond allopathic medicine, and you don't know where to start. Well, the starting point is recognizing that you have no more power, you have no more energy, you've been giving it away, and now you want to reclaim it for yourself so you can heal spirit, mind, and body. There's traumas, there's self-talk, there's physiological manifestations that you really want to fix. You don't know how. Another meetup isn't going to do it if you don't know who you are. Another book is not going to give you what you need. You need accountability. You need somebody to say, hey, I hear you. What you're saying is valid. Now let's pull up your feminine energy. So a free strategy session with me for 60 minutes will get to the problem, will get you a solution, and create a strategy. Because without a strategy, none of this information that you ever hear is going to work for you. It needs to be part of your strategic plan. I am part of your strategic plan.
Awesome. And she said it, and you have to give yourself permission to go forward and really take the time for yourself and not feel guilty. Excellent. Nathaniel, you're up.
I would say that well, I have 3 support groups, and people can go to my website, www.abundancelegacy.org, and I have 3 free groups that you can join. There's a men's group, there's a women's group, and there's a hump day group, just to be able to get through the week. and they each respectively run from 7 to 8 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So come and join us. The message that I would like to close with is all that glitter is not gold. Slow down in order to speed up.
Yep.
Everybody's rushing and rushing and rushing, and they're hustling and doing all this stuff and getting nowhere.
Nowhere.
Slow down in order to speed up.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. Very good. Slow down to speed up. And we want to make sure that you are encouraged this week to reach out. You've heard from Jeffrey, you've heard from Coach Tiffany, you've heard from Dr. Reed, you heard from Nathaniel Ross, you heard from us all. And so we want to make sure that you are strategically centered and grounded and ready for 2024 by finishing 2023 strong. We love you. It's your life, own it. You are the CEO of your life. It's time to make executive decisions. Who's in your boardroom, as Nathaniel would say? Environment, environment, environment. Influence, 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 and advisors. Who's advising you? And so we love you. And remember, look up succession planning, because that's what you need to know. You need to know what that means, and you need to correlate it with your personal life. We got to sober up, people, in regards to our families, in regards to our estate, and how we're going to actually do this thing successfully. And succession planning is part of that process. We can take these tools that organizations use and we can use them to our own advantage. Take care. God bless. We are all out.